Welcome back to week 12 of Skulls and Shackles. I knew that. I didn't have to look at it. Welcome back to week 12 of Skulls and Shackles. I am, of course, GM Arthur Perkins, and I am having a fantastic day packing to move. Let's check in with everybody before we go ahead here. We are missing Craig, who may join us sometime mid-session. There might be some shuffling. But, yeah. Adam, how have you been this week?
Oh, it's been a good week. December is great. It's like getting everything ready for the holidays at the same time. Work is slowing down a bit, so I'm able to relax and enjoy the time. And painting the house, so that's always fun to see some significant change happen. But other than that, looking forward to fifth level of Uncle Books, playing a straight caster this time. No more dipping a monk.
I was going to ask about that, yeah. How does your new level outlook look?
It looks great. I pretty much planned it to 15, and it looks really great. He'll be getting some curatives here next level after he learns a few secret techniques.
True. We'll see if that happens. We'll see.
Okay.
Dom, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing peachy. Just chilling like a villain. Happy that I got my gear back.
Plus, he got gifted a archers of lesser bracers of lesser archery.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Need to add that to my bonus.
Indeed. Lorraine, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing great.
Anything new with Ferris?
No, Fair keeps on keeping on.
Okay. Dan, I think you have a character to introduce tonight.
Yes. This is my new character is Kamakiri. He is a friend of Kroop's. Kroop introduced him to the party in Blood Cove while they were doing their month of retraining. He is an independent contractor of sorts.
He's signed on to be an officer with the Dancing Dolphin.
Indeed.
Indeed. So we're going to backtrack the story a little bit to before the Dancing Dolphin launched out of Blood Cove on their slave liberation mission. Not really sure how that worked out, but you guys have about a dozen slaves on board. So, Books, you received a letter from the man who had been training you over the last 30 days in the ways of blood magic. Your teacher and your guidance, Master Destiny Force, and he has asked you to come right away as he is in pretty dire straits. And so I assume you answered this call.
I do.
Do you bring anyone else with you?
Well, I'll ask around. Who would anyone like to come? I explained quickly that my trainer and is in dire need, and I'm gonna go visit him. Would anyone like to tag along?
Is he human?
Trainer in what exactly?
Then I'm in.
So, Master Destiny Force is known around as a kind of witch man who once used terrifying blood magics but has now reverted to being kind of a semi-holy man healer, which is unusual for someone of the arcane arts. In fact, it's not normally possible.
Would anyone else like to join?
I will accompany.
Okay.
All right. So those of you who are coming arrive at Master Destiny Force's hut, and the door is open, and you hear a voice call out, "Come, come, my child."
Is everything okay? This message sounded urgent.
So as you come into the hut, the brightness of the outside and the darkness of the inner hut, your eyes have to adjust for a moment, but you do notice Master Destiny Force's unique affliction which is that his eyes glow red in the dark. But more importantly, this is a man that is lying what appears to be his deathbed. And he looks much as he has in the past that you've known him for over the month. Kind of, if this was a movie, he would be played by Emperor Palpatine. You know, dark, heavy robes, like his skin is very wrinkled and tinged with gray and blue. It's clear that he's not getting a lot of circulation. And he's just like, come closer, my student.
I walk over and, how can I be assistance? You don't look well.
His voice drops again. He goes, who is that there with you?
This is my new friend, Aces, and Kamakuri, who I just met.
I see.
I told them of your dire situation, and they came to help.
My student. My most beloved student, I am dying. I fear that before the day is gone, I will be dead. The blood magic, the terrifying consequences of pacts with devils, has finally caught up with me. And by midnight, my soul will be claimed by my benefactor. And then it kind of wheezes and laughs. He's like, I will pay for my crimes, but there is still time for you, books. There is an island, a most holy island, where I learned my arts. There I was not a master, but a mere apprentice. I left in anger, but once I left, I could no longer return. You could truly master the arts there of healing and repentance. He hands you a map that shows a tiny island that's previously unmarked to the southwest of Stairwood. And he says, the island is covered in illusion magic, and it is becalmed in the sea. They are expecting you there, books. When you arrive, they will send a boat out to greet you and bring your allies ashore. There you will go through a process of spiritual purity, and when you have achieved a state of enlightenment, they will teach you what you need to know to become a healer, and to use the blood of your own body to aid others. I warn you, however, if you go to this island, you will die. And when you return, you will be something else.
That sounds very promising. Is there any...
He just starts laughing. He's like, I would not be so quick to embrace death, my young friend. I know that you as an elf are long-lived, but us humans perhaps do not have your lifespan. And that is one final gift that I give to you. You must let go the hatred in your heart and give up your racist ways. All races, while they may not be created equal, are capable of equal commitment.
I understand that it has been my undoing, especially of late. I don't view you like the other humans, but I have grown very fond of our apprenticeship, my apprenticeship with you, Master of Destiny Force. I will carry on this journey. Do you have any, outside of this map, do you have a journal or anything else I can learn from during my time?
No. On this trip, you will learn all you need to know.
Very well. I will attempt to make your last day most comfortable as possible. And so I will go around and heat some hot water, put it in a towel, just help him be as comfortable as possible, give him some tea and all that good stuff, just to make him feel slightly more comfortable in his last hours.
Okay. So while you're doing this, he just starts cackling, and he's like, no, my student, it's time. It is time. You must end the pain.
Me personally?
Yes.
I kind of look over his stuff like, this look interesting.
I have a knife you could borrow if you need.
I don't know if I could do such a thing. After all, I've learned so much.
Do you want me to do it?
He says, "You
I
would
could-
leave a dying man in pain."
I could do it.
No. No. I must do it myself. Out of honor.
I was serious about the knife borrowing thing, though. You can borrow my knife.
I got Cutlass, got Elven Curve Blade. You got Whip if you want to beat him slowly.
I got
Does anyone else see this?
I got a couple wakizashi you could borrow.
How does the sheet behind me turn teal? It's green. Yeah, man.
Lighting.
So
If
what
you
is it
would-
going to be, Books?
I'm gonna borrow. I'm sorry. Kamikaze, not Kamikaze. What's your
Kamakiri.
character's name? Kamakiri. Kamakiri's blade, and if he does have a a hot tea or something or whiskey or anything to help soothe him nearby, I will give him a sip of that wine, whiskey, and then say, "Thank you, friend, for all that you have done. I will live out my journeys with your memory," and then slit his throat.
Okay. So he reaches towards you with his left hand feebly, just like, and you hear him gurgling, and he says, "As my final test, you have failed. As a healer, first do no harm." And then he just starts choking and gagging, bleeds out and dies.
Okay.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Yep.
you tricked us.
Did he trick you, or did he teach you the final lesson?
So, what kind of stuff does he have around here?
I'm gonna go with both. I'm gonna go with both.
Okay. If you'd like to roll up a perception check to just rifle through his stuff, you can look through it over the course of 10 minutes. He's got various components that you would expect for both alchemy, arcane magic, and the special ingredients needed for blood magic. You think there's about 120 gold pieces worth of these materials you could just up and take.
Well, I'm going to need the spell components for my studies and any type of herbalism involved there.
So let me ask, Books, having killed your own master and failed his final test, how do you feel right now?
I feel pretty bad. I feel like at first I didn't know if he was, just wanting a quick death, but now I realize that it was the final test and I failed. So he definitely he's collecting the belongings, and he's definitely has his head down. He might even have a single tear come trail down his cheek, and he just shakes his head and says, "I still have much to learn."
So let me ask then, Aces and Kamakiri, how do you guys feel watching this? I mean, you just watched him walk in here and murder his master, basically. And you guys watched, so... And encouraged.
I gave him the knife. I mean,
It's nature. People die.
he
Circle of
asked.
life.
He asked.
Okay.
I didn't know it was some reversal trick thing.
It's a trap. Okay.
I tried my best not to laugh out loud.
Okay.
Because you duped us good.
Did I dupe you good, or did you perhaps learn a moral lesson?
No. You duped
Okay.
us.
Well, so Books was thinking the entire time about this test that he has to go through in the future. He didn't realize the test was in the present as well. So I was a bit distracted by his mission.
All right. Craig, I see you joined us.
But yeah, apologies everyone.
It's cool. How are you doing this week?
Doing okay. Tired, busy week. Work was crazy.
I bet. I'm getting prepared to move on Tuesday as well. So what you just went through, I'll be going through too.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Mine's the 15th. It's gonna be hilarious.
Finals week soon.
Oh, finals week. Good times.
Uh-huh.
I think I've talked about it before, but I still have recurring nightmares of waking up, missing a final, and failing to get my college degree. And then I'm like, wait, nope, I still have the college degree. That's real.
It's in my closet.
Yeah, I didn't find that out until today. I had never unpacked the college degree when I moved here, so the box is still all nicely packed, ready to go. Saving myself time in the future.
I win the perception check.
Okay, so Kamakiri, when you look around, you do notice underneath where this man is just bleeding out, the blood kind of runs between two boards, and there's a secret latch there.
I
Good
open
on
it.
you.
Okay. Down there, you find 4 onyxes, each worth 250 gold pieces. And you also find 1,000 gold pieces worth of diamond dust in powder form.
Alright, 1 second.
I pat him on the back. Good job, man.
400 GP each. 4 onyx. And 1,000 gold in diamond.
Yep.
The diamond dust might come in handy later.
So, we now snap back to the present, where the Dancing Dolphin is leaving port. Everyone is on board. When all of a sudden there's a commotion from below decks, and someone begins shouting for Master Scourge.
I'll unroll my whip, stomp down the stairs. Sounds serious.
Oh, it is. So when you reach the below decks, you find out that one of your followers, in fact, the one that has been following you around most of the time, you remember the one who mohawked his hair and did it orange, the noble,
Right?
the youth, he has stowed aboard. And, now, while that might be bad, and the situation does look bad, but it gets worse. He was stowing aboard, and he jumped out of his stowaway position to interrupt a new crew member who was attempting to have his way with one of the slave girls. And the two of them got into a fight and drew blades, and both of them are currently dying of their wounds.
Okay.
And now, like, half the crew is below decks looking at this horrifying scene, you know. Each of them has a sword through the gut. One of them is accusing the other of rape. The first one is accusing the stowaway of being a stowaway and assaulting him. And everyone's just like, Master Scourge, what do we do, Sergeant?
Heal him so we can sort it out.
He's like,
Can
Sergeant,
we save him?
Master at Arms, I don't know any healing magic. Is there someone on board?
Yeah, I'll call the captain down.
Captain,
The captain comes down.
Cabin boy approaches you and he's like, Captain sir, ma'am, Commodore, Master Scourge needs you below
Sorry.
decks at your earliest convenience.
I go below decks.
You kind of doubt that's exactly how Scourge put it, too. I'll ask the Commodore if she thinks she can save either and or both of these so we can sort this out. I'd hate them die and escape the results of their actions.
I heal both of them and ask for the slave girl to be brought forward.
Okay. They bring the slave girl forward. She is, of course, wearing her chains and socks. No one provided them with any clothing yet.
Can somebody get her a burlap bag or something?
Yeah, I call Arisa forward and say, when I told you to see that the girls were taken care of, clothes were part of that.
Clothes.
Okay, so the sailmaker's mate is like, I'll get on it right away, Captain. Sir, ma'am. Sir.
Commodore.
Commodore,
Commodore.
Captain, ma'am, sir.
And he just like,
Commodore,
starts,
Captain Mem, sir.
he just starts like unfurling sailcloth and having a bunch of the Loblolly boys, you know, help him cut it up and fit it into clothing. So, you know, that's going to take a few minutes.
Doing for the last day.
Enjoying the
the
naked
crew?
girls walking around the ship in their socks. That's what they've been doing.
When you ask the crew, like, Arissa just, like, shrugs her shoulders, and you notice a lot of the crew members are, like, tucking rum bottles behind their backs. Someone's got, like, a pipe that's, like, in their mouth and just, like, taps it out and throws it into his belt.
Sounds like we've been neglecting discipline with our crew, doesn't it?
I'm very disappointed in all of you.
I want to point out you were in port for 30 days.
Yeah.
That's a good way to let discipline die.
Yeah.
Well, it would seem that now is as good a time as any to reestablish.
So, I asked the presumably now togaed slave girl exactly what the situation was.
Okay. So she says, "Of course, mistress. I did what he wished."
What did he ask you?
He asked to have a tumble in the sheets.
Have other sailors been asking for this?
She says, "Oh no, it's only been half a day."
Well, frankly, seems a reasonable question to ask.
She just
Well,
looks
it's a lot better
confused
than...
at you, like,
Okay, so here's the deal. Since evidently clear instructions were not given, he's only going to get moderate punishment this time.
everyone's like,
Extra.
"No, not moderate punishment."
No!
Notice I'm
Extra
straight faced
work.
during this.
No lashes, no keel hauling. This time. If I hear of further problems, you will be getting to make Master Scourge's personal acquaintance.
And the guy that just got off with, you know, extra work, turns to his companion and like gribs him and says something very low. If you guys would
All
like
right,
to make a
I'm just going to
perception
punch
check.
him right square in the head when he opens his mouth.
Oh, okay, all right. You punch him in the face, and he's just like,
No,
"Oh, what the
no.
bugger, mate?"
Ain't none of that, man.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna
Hear what he
use-
started to say anyway.
I don't care what he was going to say. It don't matter. Captain was talking, and you just got off scot-free.
Yeah, I'm then going to round up the rest of the now-to-be-clothed slave girls.
Wait a minute, I haven't
Arisa
rolled damage yet. Hang on.
We can assume it was a critical hit in this case. Dealt max damage because that was fucking awesome.
Can I do non-lethal with the brass knuckles?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, then that would be max damage. They are ×2 crits, so that would be 26 points of damage.
Oh, you knock him out.
Oh yeah,
There's
knock
a
him
crack on
slap
his
out.
face. You know, there's blood streaming from it. It doesn't look lethal, but everyone just hush and they're like, "Oh." And then, like, one of the halflings pulls out his pipe and is like, "So, that's moderate punishment then." Looks like I'll be doing my job.
Ferris pinches her nose and mutters briefly to herself under her breath.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to point out how this looks to the crew. Like, you know, this guy gets off with just like a little slap on the wrist, and then out of nowhere, Scourge just like, wham!
I'll tell the crew that the captain can do what she wants for discipline, but Scourge is not going to tolerate people muttering or carrying on when the captain's around.
Everyone
You got something to
starts,
say, you say it out loud.
They all start saluting, and they're like, "Of course, Master Scourge."
right. So I will take Arisa and the newly clothed girls, and we're going to have a couple sexual harassment workshops as we cycle
That's
through
the
the
most
crew.
fun I've had all week, yo.
And one of the stowaway.
So the stowaway
Well,
was
Scourge,
like,
is he your guest, or do we throw him overboard?
Let's go with both.
So until Genji had mentioned it, like no one remembered that the stowaway was there. Everyone was looking in another direction. You know, the Commodore was getting ready to walk out of the room with the girls, and then all of a sudden, all eyes go back on that guy.
I didn't forget about him. I just figured he was Scourge's problem.
Yeah, well, and that one's mine to deal with, and I don't honestly know what would be the normal punishment for a stowaway.
Based on having read a bunch of the Hornblower novels, getting chucked overboard.
Yeah. Hornblow is the bomb, by the way.
Okay. So we will tie a rope around his ankle,
Well,
and then
the
we'll chuck
options
him
are,
overboard.
Whoa.
you said that he was a noble. Does he have money?
Good question. Are you asking him? Or
Yes.
you
Well,
just-
while she's talking, I'm tying a rope around his ankle, so...
So he's like, Master Scourge, no, what are you doing? I thought we were friends, Scourge. No, please.
Friends? Friends? You think stowing away with someone, as I throw him over my shoulder, carry him up the stairs, you think stowing on a boat means you're friends with someone? Is that how you treat your friends?
He said, but I entered you into the dueling league just like you asked.
The what?
The dueling league, remember?
Sarissa
Oh, that's the guy that got me in? All right.
He's the guy who gave you the information on the man Jenkins.
And if you hadn't, this would be a rock instead of a rope.
It's like, no, not overboard. No, Scourge,
Yeah.
I can't swim.
Tie the
think
under
that's
the rope to the rail.
I trust, of course, you have your payment for being provided passenger rights.
So he's like, payment? I don't carry money on me. What? I haven't done that since I was 6.
All right. Lift him up over my head.
There's no way. My father will pay. My father will pay.
Either you work or you go over.
He says, my father will pay.
Choose to work. See me sitting in the gallows, like in the
So
bird
he's
nest.
like, work. That's so
Knowledge
pedestrian.
local. Do I think his father will pay?
Okay. Make your knowledge local check.
I'll try to assist with that.
Can I diplomacy?
Or actually, knowledge nobility. Knowledge nobility will his father pay.
Sure. Knowledge nobility would work.
Come on.
If you wanted to do diplomacy, you'd have to ask your crew members if they knew who his father was. Okay, so you guys don't even recognize who this kid is, nonetheless. who his father
There we
is.
go.
Okay, Kamakiri, you recognize that this kid has a tattoo on the web of his thumb of the left hand of a certain free captain.
A certain free
You
cap.
don't remember exactly what the free captain's name was, but he was rumored to have a ship who was only crewed by werewolves or were people, and he himself is a werewolf. And more than that, he has allegiance from a number of different ships. They fly his flag.
Oh, as
Can't
soon as I
quite
realized
remember his
this,
name, but you do remember his ship was called the Blood Moon.
like, hold up. Stop. What know ye of the blood moon?
This is Blood Moon. That's my dad's ship.
Your father is captain of the blood moon?
Yeah.
And what do you think your father does to people that stow away on his ship?
Gives them snacks.
Well, that can certainly be arranged. Uncle Books, do you have anything you would like our young guest?
I do not. I'm still contemplating the death of my master. I just heard. Do you have anything for the young guest?
Any snacks?
Oh, any snacks? No, I do not.
Bloody snacks?
Does anybody remember how far I chucked that guy in that contest?
It was like 24 feet or something.
Okay. No, Scourge is actually saying that out loud.
Wait,
Yeah. So Books' expression is very somber. He's definitely mourning. He's wearing all black. He does a lot of thinking to himself now that Kid Tomes is gone and his recent master is now also gone. So he's just very non-responsive for the most part, and unless he's asked directly a question.
Nah.
so let me ask: is lycanthropy hereditary?
He says, well, it is, but I'm adopted.
Oh, so you're not a werewolf?
I like to do a sense motive on him.
Yeah, that's a good, because I was about to be like,
Oh, wait a minute. My macro.
Yeah.
I put space in it.
Let me.
25.
Okay, so you can tell he's getting pretty nervous and he's kind of sweating a bit.
Does it 28
He
tell me?
says, no,
Supposed to be a 2.
no, I'm not a werewolf.
Said his own
We
Are you
picked up
a-
a silver weapon somewhere. It should be easy to tell. We don't actually have to stab him with it. You just touch him with it and find out if it works.
All right, that's the end of my questioning. What to do?
Let's do that. Go get silver. Better yet, I get one of my silver blanched arrows and touch him with it.
Silver blanched arrows. Let me see here.
Does he burst into flame?
That's definitely not how it works. So he does not. He's just like, ow! Stop doing that. That hurts. He says, I assure you, I'm not a werewolf. And, he keeps sweating.
Are you any type of liking?
And he starts sweating some more. And then he says, no. And it's clear that he's lying.
Uh-huh. Tell me the truth, boy. Or I
Come
think
on.
my friend's gonna chuck you.
Let's have a nice, friendly conversation about exactly what you can do that would help make up for your error in judgment.
He says, okay, fine, I'll tell you. Not even my father knows. I do bear the taint of were in my blood. I am a sea scarred. I am a weresharkkin. My mother was a wereshark.
Oh.
We're
So-
keeping him.
Okay, so it wouldn't
He
actually
says, I want to
hurt
be
him at
clear,
all if I
am
chuck
not
him
a
overboard.
wereshark. I am weresharkkin. We are half
So-
wereshark.
Your bait is
Half.
what I'm hearing. Chum? Can I dress him up in pretty outfits and hang him over the side?
Well, he's already got a rope on him.
All right. We have a new plan for my eventual wereshark army.
No one thinks it's weird that there's a wereshark that can't swim? Sorry,
Little bit.
weresharkkin.
You know,
Little bit.
one time when I was Navy RO, they made sure that you had to learn how to swim because they accidentally graduate somebody that couldn't swim.
That's...
And he was a Marine, which was like really bad.
How did they not find out?
I don't know.
Dunk him in the tank.
Well, this guy can't get off scot-free, so...
Oh,
We
really?
put him to work.
Well,
What
hardly
will you
scot
do?
free.
Oh, he's gonna have to work.
Well, he did save that lady for being, bad stuff happened to him. So he has a sense of duty.
Which, yeah, he did help save her, so he didn't get keel-hauled. Now, he's still stowed away on the boat.
Put him to
Well,
work in the bilges.
Like I said, I think that we're going to keep him and make him part of the crew until he finds some other way of payment, i.e.
Okay.
getting me my wereshark army. and we need to figure out why his werewolf father adopted a wereshark son, but didn't know he was a wereshark.
Again, where's Sharkin?
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
You don't exactly think of... You'd think he'd stay to his own kind, okay? Racist.
Whoa. Yeah. That's racist.
A little bit.
Good old-fashioned racism.
Fantastic.
Speciesism.
But, yeah, so like I said, he will end up being our crew, but in the meantime, figure out an appropriate punishment.
Okay, even though he's currently hanging over the railing, wrapped with rope around his legs, he's like, No, I don't know how to work on a boat.
You're about to learn how, son.
No.
You're about to learn how.
It's not complicated. Have you heard of keel
Always a
hauling?
good time to learn.
Like, my
You'll start
father
from
will
the
pay
bottom
for
up.
my passage. I'm a passenger. I claim
Here's-
passenger right.
Here's your options. You get keel hauled, or you find a job you can do.
Then he's like, you know you can't drown me keel hauling.
Have you ever seen the barnacles on the underside of a ship?
He's like, no. I told you I can't swim.
Well, let's give him a good look at the barnacles then.
You gonna keel haul him?
Well, I think we found his job. If we can't drown him, he gets to clean the barnacles, and we just tie a rope to him.
So he's like, but the reason you can't drown me is because when I'm in danger, I turn into a shark.
I know how to do shark harness. What's your point?
I can't clean barnacles as a shark.
Let's start
All right.
working in
Your
the
teeth
bilges.
grow very quickly. Chew them off.
So,
Let's start
He's
All
them
right,
sitting
well,
upside down, blood
other-
draining into his face.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we could make him cabin boy until we get a payment from Daddy.
Your current cabin boy is like, I'm sorry, ma'am, say what?
We have a cabin boy? I thought that role
of
had
course.
not been filled.
Let's
They
start
just
them out
kind
in
of
the
show
bilges.
up like cockroaches.
Let's put them in the bilges. Why not?
Yeah. Well, we don't want to make Daddy too mad.
I like to think of the bilges as a, life-growing experience.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think we can start him out in the bilges and let him work
Yes,
his way
we
up.
can
He'll
tell
decide
Daddy- yes.
that.
We'll tell Daddy he's working his way up from the bottom, so this way he gets the proper knowledge of how a ship operates for when he goes to take over his own ship. This is my story
Perfect.
when Daddy finds out and comes after us.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it. Okay. Yeah, it'll work.
And he says,
I-
you
it's a
throw me
plausible-
in the bilges, my father, Avamar Soranash, will hear of this.
Ooh, he has
Oh,
There's
Oh, so you want your father to hear that you stowed away on someone else's ship?
And, the whole crew just starts laughing, like, har, 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 har. Like, pirate laugh, not like, ha, 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 ha. Like, har, 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 har.
Why my video keeps turning off? Get tired of this.
Skype is a tempestuous program. Like the sea.
the sea be a harsh mistress.
Exactly.
Like I said.
well, I guess back to my job. I go back up to the crow's nest and keep a lookout.
Okay. So
I go
McCann
back to
is-
doing sexual harassment workshops among the crew and explaining that Cerisian women are not for their convenience.
So you
guess.
perform the first ever sexual harassment seminar in the history of Valerian.
And I guess
I'm not saying they can't agree to it, I'm just saying they have a choice. And then I spend the
Nope,
rest of
I
the day
understand.
trying to explain to them that they have a choice.
Have you written a manual about this? Like company policy?
Because they're all going to be
Is it
looking
part of the
at you
ship
like,
rules?
wait,
This
what?
is stuff that I've done at work. Do you want me to send you one of the
No.
default-
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is do you keep a pamphlet of this kind of stuff around on board? Just hand it out to the crew?
Well, I assume that most of them are illiterate, but otherwise, yes, I would have written
Whoa.
them.
This is the Shackles. They need to know their letters so that they can sign their name to crew lists. This is Galarian. Almost no one's illiterate. Barbarians learn languages.
barbarians can
3.5,
read
they
books.
didn't even get language.
Barbarians can read.
Books is willing to construct any crude, like mannequins out of wood
Really?
and hay.
Really?
I'm just saying, if we need demonstrations like cardboard cutouts of what and what not to do, we can construct this out of
That-
wood.
Oh yeah, while we're training the young sir, I like the Mulan song. We're gonna make a man out of you. Play.
Good song.
Go give him
I'm
hard
going
work.
to return to my station as new quartermaster.
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
the old
the
way.
old
The
quartermaster died, so
Yes, he kept very neat records.
yeah, weird how that works out.
Mm.
I assume that's why they brought you along. Your specialized knowledge at cargo stowing and quartermastery, and your excellent ability to analyze documentation quickly.
Sure.
That reminds me, Kamakiri, can you make a perception check real quick on yourself?
On myself.
Yes, I like this.
Oh no. If it ever shows up. Come on. There we go.
Okay. So, like you're just walking around and then out of nowhere, you realize that, like, on your collar, someone in the last 12 hours has stuffed, like, a piece of paper in there. Like a tiny
Odd.
piece of paper. And when you pull it out and you look very closely at it, it's a wanted poster for the necromancer. And it has Commodore Ferris's face on it. And there's a nice large bounty on it as well.
Didn't we just do this?
We are in the process of doing this, yes.
What is,
So the bounty that's listed is 1 free life.
1 free
Wait.
life?
Yes, 1
Wait,
free
like
life.
a little heart? Like,
No, it
whenever
just
you
says
do a
1
level?
free life.
huh.
Who could have
That's,
done this in the last 12 hours? It's very strange.
And with that,
That's
the ship is underway. You're out of the port, and you leave your troubles behind you. Or do
Hakuna Matata.
you? So, what sail do you set? And I should note that there are another number of spiritual songs coming out of the bilges. Like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot down there from your noble folk.
Somebody teach him some proper pirate sea chanties. What is this?
Did we be where there was no-
My God, this boy is a disgrace to his father.
So for those asking what 1 free life means, you can make a knowledge arcana check.
like,
I do not have
Okay.
knowledge arcana.
All right. You've heard of a 1 free life policy? It's where someone reincarnates you and like gives you a new name and identity and stuff like that. There's something more deeply magical about it, but you're not sure how it works.
okay.
Uncle Books
So-
knows nothing about this. I curl the paper back up and stuff it in my pocket.
So did you talk to Uncle Books about it?
About 1 free life?
Yeah.
No, just the fact that I have this wanted poster on my person mysteriously. If I were to go around showing it to the crew, that is a quick way to get keel hauled.
Okay, so Books, it crosses your mind for no specific reason. Maybe you studied about it during your blood magic retraining. The process involves reincarnating somebody and then using memory modification spells to wipe away selected part of their past, so that if anyone asks them who they are, they can legitimately say that they are a new person while still having the skill sets that they had in the past. So it's like a way of starting over.
Kind of a restart.
Yes. So
Wow, that is awesome.
for some people,
Phew.
this kind of magic is highly sought after. It's also extremely expensive and exceedingly rare. Such a chance comes through maybe once a generation, where someone is capable of casting a spell like this.
This
Wow.
could mean trouble.
I relay that to the party in secret, outside of the earshot of any other crew members.
What's interesting
Well,
is somebody
again,
wanted
you-
us to know.
No one but Kamakiri has seen the One Free Life yet.
Oh, I see. Okay,
So
so
you
he
just
hasn't.
remembered it because reason.
Just because plot.
So I know it, but he hasn't asked me
You
some
know of it,
information.
right? But he hasn't consulted you.
I see. Okay.
So, where sail?
Well, as Ferris knows nothing about the One Free Life, she ignores all of that. And as Ferris has not been told anything about Uncle Book's reincarnation quest, she continues with the original plan.
Very well. How fast do you guys ship sail? Crap.
48 miles a day, I think.
Is that it?
Yeah, I was waiting for a good time to make that known because there was, I didn't want to interrupt everybody, and it was a lot of fun. But I do mention that to Master Scourge and Captain Ferris about the Master Destiny Force and his last words, and the fact that he has a map that he has given to me, and there's an island where I need to seek redemption. There's not a specific time, but the crew is welcome, being the 5 of us, and I would appreciate any assistance I can. I'm deeply troubled by the recent deaths of Kid Tomes and Master Destiny Force, and I would appreciate all and any help that I could receive as I go to this mysterious island and seek redemption for my soul.
Okay, so this guy was your trainer?
Yes.
So he supposedly gave up the path of black magic, but had no problems teaching it to you?
It was a healing magic. He transformed basically the blood magic into a curative form of blood magic, using your own internal blood to heal others of any afflictions.
So your so-called means of healing people is going to be to force them to consume your bodily fluids.
That would be a factual statement, yes.
Yeah! Let's get right on that.
It's magic,
What?
though. So it is not.
So it's magical.
It is
bodily
altered.
fluid.
Yes, it is magical bodily fluid.
Because that will make it so much better.
Magic makes everything better.
I was going to say,
Everything.
magic makes everything better.
Everything.
I'm just in the crow mess chilling like a boss.
It is a unique and rare for any of the arcane to be able to cure or hinder negative effects on anyone else. So it is a long forgotten art that I wish to pursue.
Do you ever think there might be a reason it was forgotten?
It's, knowledge is power, and if people were to hide this secret knowledge away, then you would have very powerful mages being able to cure and destroy. And so I believe the balance is why it was hidden.
Right.
But
Well,
I-
now that
I
the
hand
army
you
has
the-
been brought up to speed.
I hand you the map, and this is not urgent, but it's definitely a priority of mine, and I would appreciate any help. I will assist you and continue to assist the crew in any way I can.
The next day,
So, my question remains. Which direction is the ship heading in? Are you headed to the Pirate Cove, where you heard that the man Jenkins had taken his fleet, or any other destination?
You know, as excited as I am about drinking magical bodily fluids, just can't wait to have that taste experience. I'd kind of like to do the thing that we have less than a month to finish before it goes away.
Okay. Very well. So here's the next question. Are you sticking to the coast, or are you going out to sea?
How much is the time difference?
Almost no time difference.
Sticking to the coast, keeping an eye out for any villages to hit on the way.
Okay.
We've had much better luck with villages.
So what is the watch order? Now that we've rotated in some new members, yeah.
I take my 2-hour nap after everybody wakes up in the morning. I have a ring of sustenance since I'm, crow nest.
So are you just like, you're going to be up all night then?
Pretty much. I have
Okay.
dark vision.
So as the sun sets, you see like a flash of something in the sun. Can you make a perception check, Aces? Oh yeah. So there's like a flash of green with the setting sun, and in that green flame, you think you see a black ship with black sails and an eagle painted on those sails, and it's
Does
heading
this-
straight towards you guys.
Does this ship seem familiar?
It does. It does seem familiar. You were trapped on it for almost 4 months, right?
I get down really quick, say, Captain! Captain!
By the time you reach the bottom of the mast, the sun is slipping under the horizon, and the ship has disappeared from sight.
Well then. I
Now,
still
Aces,
go into
you know, because you saw it happen multiple times, that the ship hunts for 3 nights, and on the 3rd night it attacks as long as everyone on board has not touched land.
I am for. Well, a minute. Is this what time of day is this? Like
The sun
late.
is setting, so
Okay.
Wait a minute. It attacks. If we have not set our foot on land, it will attack.
that's correct.
Okay, I want to make sure I understood the
In 3
the-
days.
logic flow like that. Okay.
3 days
Well-
again. Did this guy take notes from Atticus Styles' Ghost?
This is Atticus Styles Ghost.
It is Atticus Styles.
It's him. We didn't kill him.
Seriously.
Kill him.
Ah,
And now he has backup.
We had to destroy the boat, and we didn't.
Of course, I know nothing about this. So I ask, what's going on?
Not
Have
sure
you
why
had
he's still
problems
following
with
us, though.
Ghost pirates before?
I informed Captain Ferris about the what I saw and the information I know since I've been stuck on there for 3 days, and I changed my spell list now around
See,
to certain things.
are you making any changes to your sail plan? I was going to say flight path, but that would not be correct. In light
Well,
of this
we were-
information,
we were hogging the shore anyway, so
Okay.
this furthers my desire to hog the shore and make sure that we send a longboat ashore.
okay. So the next day you travel another 48 miles, and are you stopping and having the whole crew get out and touch land at least once a day?
You could let it go like every 2 days. No sense in wasting time. I am going to write very sarcastic notes to the disembodied kid tomes and put them in bottles and throw them overboard as we travel.
That's fascinating. All right.
Ooh, what do they say? I want to know what they say.
It's a lot of ranting about your uncle, mostly,
Ah,
to be honest.
So if we're going with Star Fox, my favorite line from Star Wars Taunt is, "You'll be seeing your dad soon, Fox. You'll be seeing your dad soon, Fox."
I also tell you that evidently there's some necromancer who looks a lot like me, in case you're interested in getting a body back. Or your dad. We could cut a deal.
Can Kid Tomes and Commodore Ferris be pen pals?
No,
Like Ghost to Kid
no,
Tomes?
that's not how it works.
Why not?
Come on, that'd be hilarious.
So can you make a perception check on the second day, Aces, as you guys haven't touched land yet? I assume to do it, like, on the third day.
I mean, can't he just, like, shoot little arrows at me with letters and I throw him messages in a bottle back,
Well,
you know?
he's a ghost, so no.
It'd be like that thing with the base.
They had zombies on the ship.
Yeah, I could get one of the zombies to do it.
Yeah, look
Maybe
at
if-
the
maybe-
zombies to write letters.
Maybe if Captain Ferris took up pottery, she could have a Kid Tomes seance.
Okay, so Maelstrom, Aces, at exactly midnight, an unseasonable fog rolls in, and right next to the ship, like out of nowhere, you hear a bell ringing, 8 bells, and you see the black sails and the black ship, and it's very clearly the Night Eagle. But more importantly, you see something that you did not see before, the ghostly outline of a young man with a rapier pointing it directly at you, and then the ship slips back into the mist and disappears.
You see me grip my bow like real tight. It's like, I don't want to go back. Don't drink me. And I go down and tell the captain. Well, I told the captain in the morning because I don't want to wake her up in the middle of the night.
Ah, okay. All right.
Well, they came by again last night. This time they were about this close. And he pointed a rapier at me. Apparently he's mad at me for some reason. I don't know what I did, but...
Yeah, I was first at least sad at a fire. And for landfall that afternoon.
Okay, so you guys make a brief landfall. It takes like an hour to get everybody into boats and put them onto the beach and then get them back on. There's a lot of drinking and pipe smoking during that time. And the third day, in the distance, Aces, as the sun is setting, you see a flash of green, and there's a ship with black sails.
This
That's
is
all
just
it-
going to be a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have to face him eventually.
Well, anyway, do we see any villages on the way there or no?
You do not.
Darn it.
And so on the fourth day, you sail into the cove where you've been told that the Aspis Consortium Warfleet went to, and where the man Jenkins led them against a sortie of kidnapping pirates. And can all the crew make a perception check or a profession sailor check as you roll in there?
I had a question. Do I get any bonuses while I'm in the crow's nest to perception or not really?
I'll give you a +2.
Oh, that's cool. I'll add it to my macro.
Do you have a spyglass?
Let me see. No, I did not. That's one of the things I need to invest into.
Need a far glass. Okay, Sifreek and Maelstrom, you both notice like these enormous ships, huge, much like you remembered when you saw. If you remember a couple sessions ago, you guys were sailing in a Blood Cove and 3 ships are sailing out at the same time.
Those
They
big
look
monsters, yeah.
exactly like those ships, except that they're upside down in the water, and they're about 20 feet down. The water is cool and clear, and you can see that they've been like hulled through. There's dozens of places where ballistas and catapults have like shattered the sides of these ships, and they tipped over and sank completely upside down. You think you get a sight of the third ship sailing towards you, and then you realize it's anchored in a cove, and from around the corner of that cove come 2 slave galleys and a much larger ship that has flaming sails, like the sails are actually on fire. And the galleys are like leading it on using chains, and they seem to be angling it directly towards the Dancing Dolphin. What do you do?
I informed the captain.
They're gonna bomb
I say,
us.
Captain! I start ringing the bell. Captain!
Dude, why did you have to ruin Plan B?
What?
Not you, Arthur.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me, because I thought this was my job to do this.
So again, you have a fire ship heading directly towards you guys, being towed by slave galleys.
Can we see who's manning the galleys?
Interesting. Make a knowledge local or profession sailor check.
22?
So you recognize the yellow with a diagonal black bar on them as the Ghost Send Pirates. They're a group of like kidnapper pirates. They're a syndicate from Tiencia that have been trying to angle over here. They're like a breakaway from the Golden League, and they're known for being pretty ruthless. I mean, they like stop at literally nothing to kill to get their methods done, and they do business in the way of Tiencia, so it's completely foreign to what you know.
And apparently that includes lobbing giant flaming bombs at us.
It's not a flaming bomb, it's a flame ship. The ship itself is on fire.
So they've set fire to something and they're trying to run it into us.
Yep, they set fire to
How
a slot.
fast does the ship seem to be maneuverable if they're dragging it by
So the
speed?
ships are currently accelerating towards you. They're currently moving at 60 feet around.
Well, option 1, we try to dodge around it. Option 2, our only catapults are backwards facing, so we can't really attack it from the front. Or we try and pull into ground the coast and then come around on foot with the crew.
I would say I'm a fan of trying to shoot at it. You know, maybe we can run from them long enough to.
Do we know what
Use
the
the
range on the
catapult.
ballistas is?
Let me look it up in the player's guide.
I mean, if we've got better maneuverability, we could try going down and then, turning sideways or reversing the T and shoot at them as we sail away.
So some advanced level tactics I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did I miss siege engines? I think I must have gone too far. Here we go. Siege engines. Light ballista has a range of 120 feet.
And if they're towing a ship, do we think it's as maneuverable as a sailing ship as far as to be able to turn? Or did it go left?
I'm sorry, about half of that got dropped out with some lag.
Is the towed ship as maneuverable as a ship under sail?
The towed ship currently seems to have its rudder cut. It seems completely unmaneuverable. They're basically, imagine like they're slingshotting it using the speed of their tow, and then they'll just cut the lines and let it fly directly towards you.
How big is how much maneuverability do we have?
So they're about 600 feet away from you. The wind is in your favor. The wind is backing westernly, so you're heading in easternly. If you wanted to turn and run, you would have the wind behind you. If you wanted to head directly towards them, it'd be nearly impossible at this point. You'd have to warp in, which is where you throw an anchor out, hit the bottom, and then pull on the chain until you pull yourself up on the anchor. The bay is 200 feet wide, and you're currently in the middle of it.
Okay, so 200 feet doesn't give us a lot of side angle. As far as the back-mounted ballistas, are they on something that they can at least rotate, or is it a straight line behind
No,
us?
they can hit anything aft. At a 90-degree angle. So, like that-ish.
Well, 600 feet away from us, 200 feet gives us a little room if you want to try and do the U-turn maneuver. Shall we?
Sure.
Okay, can you make a profession sailor check then, pilot?
Absolutely. Back here.
Pardon.
Let to be working the guns.
I think you guys have a siege gunner, right?
Isn't Books a siege under?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Let's go with my profession. Ah, my gosh, roll the 1.
Okay, so you're like directing the crew on how to fire these things, and they're just like, "What's that? We should do this." And then like one of them steps on the pedal to fire the thing, and it like dry fires, and you hear like a snapping noise, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
I'm just like,
Sarah
point
still
that way.
pinches her
No, the other
nose.
way.
Letters are her.
I've rolled twice and nothing has shown up.
Yeah,
I may not
know.
be.
It happens every week with this. So
Alright. Somebody roll me a d20 plus 11.
On it.
okay,
Here we go.
You easily get the ship flipped around. You start accelerating it. With the speed that these galleys are going, within 10-15 seconds, you'll be able to easily outrun them, and in the process, outrun the flame ship. So, even with Books' initial minimalist ability, you eventually pound the fire ship into pieces over the course of a 3-minute battle.
Oh, what if we don't want to pound the fire ship? We want to take out the slave galleys. Fire
Okay.
ship might have potential loot
Yeah,
left.
no, you certainly can do that. Okay. So, again, without any rolls necessary, you'll easily pound one of the galleys. The other will turn and attempt to run back to its protective cove. So therein lies the question. Are you guys going to turn into the wind and try to give chase past the flame ship, or are you going to let it run?
Is the flame ship moving at all now
No.
that it's no longer being towed?
It's currently sinking. It's taking on water from the flame damage, but it is not moving.
Well, you said it was 200 feet wide. We should have more than enough room to maneuver past them.
Sure.
Time-wise, how long would it take to haul our ship in by the anchor pull versus putting crew into 2 of the shore boats
Either
and
one of those
chasing after?
processes is going to take much longer than a road ship will.
They'd have plenty of time to get away.
Your only choice, as far as the situation allows for, is to try tacking the ship into the wind and go for a couple difficult profession sailor checks to kind of make 45-degree angle turns constantly.
Well, if that's our only choice.
Okay,
Wanna
and
run them down?
the other issue here is that the front end of the ship doesn't have any weaponry.
Yeah. Which means we'd have to actually outrun them and get in front of them or board them, one of the two, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, what do y'all think our odds are?
We can't have them raising the alarm.
Yeah. Really
Go
not
for
rather
it,
not have
why
everybody
not?
know where we're at.
Yeah. And this is the area that we need to find the guy at, so.
You mean the man?
The man.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, is there enough jungle that we think we'd have a prayer of tracking them if we tried to come after them later, or they can basically disappear?
So if you see this area right here, I mean, there's tall cliffs everywhere. If you had some way of climbing them, there is pretty thick jungle. You could probably spend some time searching for their camp by land.
My vote is let's try the sail check.
Yeah, let's try to run them down.
Okay, I need 5 profession sailor checks from Scourge, and you need to succeed at 3 before failing 3.
Question, can any of us aid him or no?
One person can aid him.
Who has the second highest bonus?
I have a +6.
6.
Plus 7.
4.
I guess I'm aided.
Go for it, Dom.
Okay. Aid.
So that's 20, 23, 21, 17, 23, and 18.
Okay, so you begin catching up to the ship using your warping, and it's clear that your sail power to even sailing into the wind is faster than their muscle-bound power. As you pull up behind them, you smell easily 100 unwashed bodies, and you hear the clank of their chains as they row the oars. And there's only about a dozen men on deck, all of whom are dressed in, like sleeveless pirate outfits with yellow and with a black diagonal slash down them. And they raise a white flag as your ship begins getting close, and they pull to a stop.
Oh,
Sense motive on the flag.
Okay. It looks like a white flag. They all, none of them appear to have any weapons out.
Huh.
Hmm.
Guess they realize they're
my own sense
not going to
motive.
get away.
Are they human?
Okay, Kamakiri and Aces, you guys get the feeling that these guys are trying to surrender before you board so that they can get a better negotiating position. They all seem pretty
Negotiating
nervous.
or negotiating?
I don't know the difference. Literally negotiating.
Literally negotiating. Okay.
You, Kamakiri, you have some ties to TNCR, right?
A little bit.
So you know that this is pretty normal for, teenage pirates to, when their jig is up, just negotiate and kind of get out with honor.
All right.
Surrender
Kinda-
some goods and walk
kinda-
away from the battle with their ship.
Cut their losses.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's hear them out.
So, are you sending a boat over to their ship?
How to make them come to us.
Yeah, but then
Safer.
they could be hiding things on their ship.
Why not grapple?
Oh, how big is the galley?
So, it's only about 60 feet long, and, it's got 100 people locked down there. 4 wide in oar slots.
Exchange of hostages. They send their people to our ship, and we send a small crew to hold theirs.
So when you try to shout over instructions, they're like, no Taldane, only Tensa, Minkanis.
I speak.
You speak Minkayan?
Yep.
Make a sense motive check real quick.
Another one? All right.
Oh yeah, they definitely speak Taldane, but they're trying to bullshit their way past you.
They totally
When
speak.
when you're like, I speak Minkayan in Minkayan, they're like, oh shit.
So, Commander Scourge, you want to explain to them the concept of respect?
I would be happy to.
They're like, we know, go over to your ship in Talden. They're like, we're not going over. You come over here.
I'll go over there. I'll chuck 3 or 4 of them off the boat.
So are you taking anyone with you?
I would like to come with.
I'd like to come with. This should be fun.
I'm sending a summon with them.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Books?
Let's try not to kill anybody, okay?
Hey, if they want to get rid.
If they start anything, I promise nothing.
I mean, if they start an actual fight, no, I could care less. But I mean, convincing them of proper manners, I don't want to just kill anybody if we can avoid it. So, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go on over.
I send Celestial Wolf with him.
Okay. Books.
I'm going over. I'm going.
I'm gonna stay by the captain.
Okay.
I'm going to sit in the other end of the boat from that thing with hair and teeth.
Okay. The 3 of you arrive. The wolf.
Hey! What has Aces ever done to you?
By the time you get there, the wolf.
It's got hair and
itself.
teeth.
But they seem pretty scared of it when it appeared. And you come aboard, and they're like, "You are captain, right?"
Okay, which one's talking?
So they're all, ethnically Minkayan. And
Okay.
it's one man with, like, widow's peak hairline, like, long, greasy hair. And
Okay.
he's got, like, a braided rat's tail at the very back. And, green eyes, pale skin. He's just like, you captain, right?
Let me explain you manners. Pick him up.
You're picking him up?
Yep.
Okay, so all the
I need a grapple check.
like, all the other pirates immediately put their hands on, like, katanas and wakizashi, and they're like, you put him down now!
Whoa, whoa,
You see me
whoa.
You
drop my
armless dog!
Okay.
Have
Whoa,
my
whoa,
bow
whoa,
out.
whoa. We don't want any trouble. Yes. If anybody asks, are you God, you say yes.
Our captain said that you would come speak with us. We're the
Welcome wagon.
the outcome of this was in our favor. We don't come to you.
You have come to us.
You're showing dishonor. No, our captain has not come. I've come to teach you manners.
You negotiate.
Chuck him over into the boat.
Okay. All
Climb
make
over
a
the ship.
CMB.
Sure.
Now, I want to point out that you've gone over with only 3 people, and there's 12 of them. You don't even have any crew members.
Yeah. It's all right.
There will be.
It says rolling. It still says just rolling the dice. Nothing's happening. There we go. Error fetching your roll. Please try again.
What the hell, man?
Really? Yeah, she says that?
It says rolling the dice, and then it said error fetching the roll. Please
Rough.
roll again.
Instead of throwing him off the ship, I would like to say, yes, I am the captain. Just to see if it'll work.
So he says, but big man, and he's pointing to the dwarf, and he says this, but big man already say captain on other boat.
Correct.
You liar?
I am also the
I
captain.
don't think that worked out
He's
real
like,
well.
what?
Ignore me.
So all
Ignore
these
me.
guys like start tightening their fists on the wakizashi, and you hear in Ninkai, and they're all just like, they have
I haven't pulled out a weapon yet.
They are trolling us.
No, only I am trolling you. Big Man is still very intent on teaching you manners.
On the other ship, Sarissa pinches the bridge of her nose and mutters under her breath.
Feels legit.
Diplomacy, Dwarven, barbarian style. That's what you get.
What's your bonus, just so we can have someone roll this out?
+8, and if it's +8. If we want to call it a bull rush,
Yeah.
then I could get my
toss him
bull
down
rush.
into the boat,
Okay, and
all
I'll just
those
climb
guys
over
are
the
like,
side.
What the fuck? I don't know if anyone wants to make a
Anybody
diplomacy
else want to
check.
come over to our ship for negotiations?
Does someone want to make a diplomacy check? Because if Scourge is jumping over, that's 11 guys versus Kamakiri and Aces.
I'm standing
maybe
on the
not
railing
diplomacy.
still and say, anybody
Maybe
else
not-
want to come over for negotiations?
Maybe not diplomacy, maybe intimidate.
Okay.
Let me find the thing.
Let me ask, what form does this intimidation take? How are you intimidating these guys?
I kind of half draw my own swords. Like anyone with arguments will have to face me in Mankind.
Okay. A couple of the crew members look you over, and you've told everyone on the boat your name's Kamakiri, but when they see you and they see your swords, everyone's like, Genji! Genji, it is Genji! And like Aces and Scourge, all you hear is the word Genji over and over again. They're all like pointing at Kamakiri, and they're just like, Genji, Genji, Genji! And
okay.
they all back off. Like, they all like let go of their swords and start backing away. So you have the boat's captain on your longboat, and would you like to
Okay.
row him back over to the...
I'll wait and see if anybody else wants to get on the boat.
No one else
I've
wants
already
to get
get-
on the boat. No one will
Okay.
get within 5 feet of Genji. Sorry,
Okay, sure.
Kamakiri.
That's fine.
You
Then
see
we'll
me-
row him back over to the ship.
That is what I thought.
I go, yeah, that's right.
Lean over and say, what exactly did you do back there?
I merely taught them the error of their ways.
So while you're being rowed over,
To teach me that someday.
the prisoner is like, "You are the one they call Genji in Minkayan."
I go by many names.
He says,
Genji.
"I understand.
Genji was my first.
Are you under contract to take us out?"
No. I am sailing with the Dancing Dolphin.
Do you have
Their
a
enemies
contract
are-
on the Dolphin?
Not actively.
He says, "I do not understand."
I am under their employ. Their enemies are my enemies.
He says, "Before, when I do not know you are on board, I would negotiate, give away a few slaves, few plunder. Now, I give away all slaves, much plunder."
It is a good bargain. You will tell the captain.
Okay, so you guys arrive, and they pull this man aboard. And he's like, "Now we're captain."
So glad you could
Commodore.
join us.
Delivered at your service.
I invite the poor Minkayan man up onto deck for negotiations.
So he joins you on the bridge, and he's like, "In my language, my name for you is Ruthless Mockingbird. What do you want with my ships?"
I like to think of this more as a matter of mutual convenience. 29.
He says, What form is this diplomacy taking? I should ask. What are you convincing him of, or what purposes?"
That I was sent mostly to investigate what happened to the damaged ships. We are most interested to find them here. Perhaps if they were willing to share some information about how they knew about these ships and the weaknesses that they had, we might come to an equitable agreement that involves everybody surviving and retaining some of their own property, thrown overboard on the shore.
Okay, so he says he's like stroking some facial hair, like me. There's not a lot of it. He's got, like clean 5 o'clock shadow type. He's like, "Very interesting." And he looks back over at his crew, and you can see someone waving at him. And he flashes a couple hand signs, and he's like, "You come at fortuitous time. Your words make much sense, and I could use your protection. If you allow my crew to escape here, and you drag our boat, using your sails from this bay, out into the open waters, away from this place, and you take nothing from us, I will tell you all that I know about the war fleet the Aspis Consortium cowards have sent against us." And he gestures to the one Aspis warship that is still like anchored and not moving at the edge of the cove.
Take nothing from them?
So he smiles, and
I
as
would
you
have.
say that, you hear like alarm bells going off all over the place.
Take nothing? That is contradictory to what you told me earlier. He told me earlier.
First off, sense motive on the take nothing.
Okay.
And second off, I would of course insist on having the personal possessions of the Shalaxians returned. That is part of what the people who hired me to investigate.
Okay. So sense motive, when he came here, he's willing to negotiate for one thing, and what you said indicates something else. So when you mentioned that you were looking for information on the ships, his whole attitude completely changed.
Changed in a good way or a bad way?
It went from kind of hopelessness to like he suddenly had a bargaining position. So like his whole demeanor changed from defeated to like, yes, now I have something to work with here. You do hear like alarm bells going off, and he smiles and he says, "So it would seem that the Gosen have discovered we have not returned. Within a few minutes, more and more ships will be launched. We must be away quickly if my rowboat here is to get out of this infernal bay where we are becalmed."
The Gosen?
Yes, I am a member of the Gosen Kai. We are a syndicate. We have come here to continue our blood feud against the infernal Aspis Consortium devils who attacked our homeland.
So is Kamakiri filling me in on anything that was said on the boat?
He is terrified of me. He and his crewmen. If you threaten to sick me on them, I think we could get.
So he's standing right there. He's like, "Before I was worried. Now I have strong bargaining position."
I'm like,
Have
sick
you
me on
heard
them.
of the spell Speak with Dead?
So
Oh,
his face was pale before, but now it's like completely sheet white. His eyes are like bulging. He's like, You would not dare use necromancy. That is forbidden sin in these lands. Very dishonorable."
You'd be surprised what they overlook when you have a letter of inquiry from the commanding officer.
For the people asking, they have not cracked the rock yet. So,
For people at home, continue to pester Arthur that you want to see hot pirate love action at Cracking the Rock.
oh boy. Yeah, we already had that night. I'm
Good
even
gimmick
giving
is
you
the
a
new
request with a
orange.
bad guy who's like, ooh, bad guy. Anyway,
Yeah, and then you completely bailed on the dress up as a slave girl and go in and get sold plot.
sure, you could try that.
Yes, I will dress up as a slave girl and stand there and wave at the fire ship.
Slave Leia.
Yeah.
Yes, so you keep mentioning necromancy, and he just, he's like, dishonorable! And he starts making hand signals again towards his ship.
Can I understand the hand signals?
No. You could make a linguistic check, but otherwise, this is not any language you've seen.
Not actually trained. This book's
Well,
trained?
if you have any information to offer us as good faith, as far as I know, you could just be bluffing.
He says, "Very well, you want good faith information? Fine. Our greatest operatives and agents managed to sneak into Blood Cove shipyards, get themselves higher, and build weakness into Warfleet. All 3 ships' fatal flaw we exploit. Now, you wish to know how ships were sunk? I tell you, but you free my crew."
I think you'll tell us first.
You gonna make an intimidation check again?
Yes. Yes, I am. As soon as I find it.
Okay. Are you backing it up with threat of force?
Oh, of course.
So, what form does this force take?
Blades. Half drawn.
Okay.
Just kind of nonchalantly. There we go.
Okay, so he's like, fine. It would seem that you are dishonorable cowards who do not know how to negotiate in good faith if you threaten my life during parley, but I will tell you what you want to know. On the port and starboard side, midships, we build structural flaw, misplaced beam. If hit there with ballistas, shatters through very thin wood, ship sinks very quickly. We overcome fleet. We send divers down and recover all the ballista and treasure. Get very rich very quickly. Third ship, commander surrenders. So we kill him.
Surrenders, you say?
Yes. Very strange. Body, very fat, very quickly. Not like anything I ever see before.
What do you mean very fat very quickly?
This is not seen before. Was very handsome man before. I hear things about him from his crew that he is very fast, very good duelist. We kill him. He bulk up like ogre. Very large. Clothing explode. Disgusting.
Do you still have his body?
I do not have his body. It is in pirate base. And you know, when he says that, you hear in the background those ringing alarm bells.
Well, alright. I think that information is worth some payment.
He says, "Tow line to my ship. Get us out of here. Before Gosen come to get us. Now that they know that I am not trustworthy, I must make my own way."
Gentlemen, we
Okay.
do the appropriate hand gestures. I asked him for more information about the base while we're doing this, and blah blah blah, go send backstory.
Okay, so, you know, Scourge brings the ship around, and you send out a tow line, and I guess Aces, you know, gets the tow line out there to them, and you drag their ship behind you. It considerably slows your own ship, but by the time you're back out at sea, no one has followed you yet. And he says, "Gosen, we send Lightning Division here to take out Aspis Consortium. We did not anticipate the size of their organization in Blood Cove. You know, when they operate in other foreign lands, like Absalom, they have one chapter house, few bronze agents, maybe silver. Blood Cove, they are government. We did not understand this when we came here. We lose many agents very quickly, and so we recruit from local pirates, take slaves, go undercover. We finish Blood Feud. One way or another, we will destroy them. Our base, you wish to know more? It is very, very well hidden. Even within that cove, there is underwater passageway into base. You must swim down and then up into it. Our sailors, very good at swimming. No one died recently. Inside, we keep many slaves for trading. Overland to Turwa. Turwa uplands, good place for money. Good slaves, too. Sargavans sell very good in foreign markets."
Okay, I ask him why he is betraying his people if they are so.
He says, "Other ship, my brother, easily destroyed. He probably swim back to base. He is very bad man. When he hears that I did not stay and fight with only 12 men, he will kill me. Brother is kind of jackass, you know. He not real brother, in-law.
Ooh, yeah.
In-laws are the worst.
Marry sister.
Well, at least it's not an uncle. I
He's
caution you
executed.
about ever having children. So
He's like, "Oh, I have many children. Many children."
I caution him to keep the uncle far, far away from them. Nothing good can come of it. So, if, say, something bad were to happen to your brother-in-law, is there anything preventing you from taking command of the base?
One second. Apparently the stream's got some buffering issues. I might need to restart it here real quick. Let me just check with Jim.
Good time for a 5-minute break.
Yeah, actually, it's 10 o'clock, so we'll take that 5-minute break and I'll just start a new stream up. How about that?
That will do.
Everyone good?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
so we'll be back in 5 minutes, guys, with a newly open stream once I figure this out.